Hey Pisces, your June tarot reading is ready. I'm Eleanor and welcome to Pink Pearl Tarot. Your main themes for June are, let's see, you have concealment, and then from the Flower Therapy Oracle you have time to decide, and this is Wisteria. It says, make a decision now so that you can move forward. All right, so what these mean together about June is that the month is all about moving forward from a stuck place. It might be time to make a choice that you've been putting off making. And sometimes that we come to a crossroads and we need time to get our head screwed on straight before choosing a direction, but we can't camp out there forever. I've also heard once said that no decision is a decision. But anyway, it's like, even if you don't actually take action to move forward in June, the energy is great at this time for making some progress and figuring out which decision is the best for your authentic self, which decision is truest for you, and not what decision is more consistent with the curated version of yourself, the version of yourself that you want everyone to like, because that's not the person actually living your life. It's you. Another question to ask is, if I go in the direction that best serves my outward facing persona, can the person inside live with that? There's trade-offs. It's not that simple. So anyway, for something that you need to hear to nudge you off the fence, that's the first question I've asked. You have the Oracle of Swords. This is the Queen of Swords, essentially. So actually, this could not be more perfect now that I look at that. Good answer, good answer. Okay, so hang on. Is it okay, I'm making sure the card was the line. The Queen of Swords is the cutter-outer of superfluous bullshit and irrelevant distractions from the core of the matter. So maybe the questions you've been chewing on when it comes to making this decision are too complex, or they involve unregulated emotion, or they aren't the actual point. So you could experiment with breaking it down into smaller yes-no questions. Or another tactic could be getting a little bit more blunt and just asking yourself, which of these two is more important? Go. Maybe writing something up for yourself, like a pro-con list. But the key is going to be cutting out the noise and simplifying communication, whether that's your internal dialogue or negotiating with someone else. And this could also look like process of elimination to reduce and then rank your options. So it's being kind of calculated almost about it, and very organized. So for where you will see the most change, you have the Four of Cups. So this is a little bit of a doldrums energy. It could possibly be that feeling of like, the blues that you get after a great vacation, or like my son was talking about a little while ago, the sort of come down after the last showing of the play that he'd be rehearsing for months. So there's like a come down or an after effect of something that's been kind of awesome. You might be someone who has always been very clear on what they want and never been stuck in this type of crossroads energy. And that itself might feel like a change of pace, like a pause that you're not accustomed to. And also, it's not like total hermit energy, but you could be feeling a little bit more withdrawn or introverted than usual as well. So for what will be your biggest obstacle? I don't like it when the cards bump. Okay, so what will be your biggest obstacle? You have the Three of Wands. There it is, right there. Future tripping, creating restlessness in the present, which is where you might need to be, or sort of find yourself, like it or not. Okay. This really makes sense as a contributing factor for that indecision. Like if you're waiting for a sign or for evidence or just some external force that makes it for you, or waiting for everything to play out on its own. And so far from what I'm getting from these is they're trying to direct you inward, and this is a very outward facing energy. Generally, it's a positive card of expansion, but like in the context of being an obstacle, it could be giving your power away or talking about trying to make everyone else happy when that just isn't possible, when it's about your truth. So for the best thing about this month, can I do it? No, now I'm moving something. Ah, Six of Pentacles. Nice. Beautiful. This indicates a very nice balance of give and take, seeing mutuality, reciprocity, and also very clear expectations, or at least minimal or well understood and acceptable strings attached, if they're already, things that are worth it, as they say. This kind of reminds me of the dichotomy of individualism versus collectivism, and the way there's actually a closed loop there where taking care of your environment is taking care of you, and then taking care of you does strengthen the social environment by way of diversity. What this means is that there is an answer here that keeps that loop of open, for energy and resources to continue circulating through your life. So for your influence and impact on others, the Eight of Cups, interesting. So there is there's an aspiration for more wrapped up in the Eight of Cups. So something about you, your energy, how you're showing up is causing people to question their own direction, the status of their own needs, and inducing a little bit of soul searching. When you display your own authenticity, it gives others permission to display their own in a way. And there's also a leadership energy here too, where you might find that you have, followers of some sort, kind of following along on your journey as they make preparations to make their own. You know how when people, sometimes they're not experts on anything or trained, but they're going through something, and that's enough. And by sharing that, it helps people to feel like they're not alone on their journey. If that makes any sense. So for what opportunities you should be looking for, you have the Tower. Okay, so this is going to be tied to that concealment energy. There could be opportunities to break free from some sort of restrictive role. However, you will recognize them by the discomfort they pose. For example, if you've never seen Shawshank Redemption, this is your spoiler warning, although it is old enough, it shouldn't be a problem. The main guy breaks out of jail at the end of the movie, and the process is grueling and claustrophobic, and it's dirty, but the scene of him reaching towards the sky at the end is just so iconic. I just heard Dr. K said something, Healthy Gamer, something about indecision being the result of not accepting the price of the action that you want to take. So this could be opportunities to really sit with what that price would be and then work towards acceptance of it so that you can move towards what you really actually deeply and truly want. So for where you will find the most support, the Moon. Yes. These are really coming together to make a pretty concise story. So this is going to be tied to that concealment, that concealment energy as well. Someone else got the same thing for this question in a totally different deck. I forget who. But it is talking about things that are concealed and illuminating some part of your shadow, and how awareness of some of the programming that's operating behind the scenes in your psyche could be very supportive to you right now. It's the knowledge of what's going on under the surface, behind the curtain of you, that puts it back in your control so that no one can use it to manipulate you. That's what people don't realize. It's uncomfortable and it sucks and people don't want to do it, but it's not just, it's very protective, because if you don't do it, someone else can take that programming and use it against us sometimes. So this is going to be critical in making an authentic decision that is best for you and not what someone else wants you to do by pushing your buttons. This doesn't mean that you have to do all of the shadow work. That's kind of like a lifetime thing. Maybe just the relevant piece to what you've got going on right now. So for your self-care directive, you have the Champion of Pentacles, and this is like the Knight of Pentacles. So it's not really saying a specific self-care action. It's not talking about one specific thing, just how you do the specific thing that you choose. And that is to do it daily. So whatever the thing that you need most. So I hear it takes 30 days to create a habit. So for 30 days straight, do the small thing, whether it's like a savings habit, a diet or exercise habit, hydration, sleep, practicing an instrument, a puzzle, throwing one thing away, cleaning up 1 meter of fence line until you're done with the whole thing. I don't know. You get what I'm saying, but it's just whatever you choose, your biggest self-care need every day for 30 days until you change the habit. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. Much love, and I'll talk to you next month. Thank you.